know if you guys heard, but Cole and Hill are coming from the HQ this Thursday.
What are you going to tell them?
The truth.
That we may not survive Holman's takeover bid?
Holman wants those patents. That's what makes us such an attractive target.
Those are our patents. It was our R&D team that worked for years to acquire those patents.
Yeah, well, we have patents to protect our products, but we may lose those patents after all, by losing the very company that holds them.
So I see you did some PI work down here in Long Beach before going up to Seattle.
Yeah, I was in Long Beach for 6 years. Then I went up to Seattle for 2.5 years. But it's too cold for this kind of work. Sit in your car for hours on end, pounding the pavement, misty windows and rain.
Tell me about it. I used to do this in England. Well, it's for pounding pavements and sitting in cars. I've got a case to attend to right now. Well, good luck, Kevin.
Grant.
Hey, good hunting.
Thanks.
Well, I already know that he's as impressed with your credentials and work history as I am, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Welcome back to Southern California.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Well, Miss Hartley, let's see. University of Long Beach, BS Criminal Justice. 2 years as a probation officer. 4 years as an insurance fraud investigator at Bayside Group Insurance. 6 months at McNamara and Rice Private Investigator Academy. Oh, firearm permit. Black belt karate. 4.5 years with our old friends, Bartok Private Investigations.
Yes.
So how'd you end up leaving there?
Well, the book came up, Shutter Safari.
Oh, yes, I see that here. Shutter Safari. A Journey into the East African Wilderness by Cicely Tompkins and photographed by Rachel Hartley.
Yes. And I didn't really want to leave Bartok Investigations, but this was like a once-in-a-lifetime sort of thing. I mean, they said they understood at Bartok, and they would have taken me back, but then...
By that time, they'd taken in somebody else.
Precisely. Anyway, they told me you were looking for more people. So
Yes, and I see they gave you a very good reference. But now, 1 year and 3 months in Kenya and Tanzania, in the wild no less. What was that like?
Well...
Come on. No one even knows who you are. No one but me, that is. Come on, give us a little kiss. You know you want to. Nice. Nice.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Right this way. Your car's waiting. I hope your flight from Germany was a pleasant one.
As much as a long flight could be, I suppose. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. You couldn't have picked us up at the airport?
Well, with the traffic this time of day, Mr. Peel felt it was best to include a helicopter.
Matthias, Stephen, sorry to keep you waiting. That was a phone call from headquarters.
What we have come to find out is how you plan to deal with this Holman situation.
This is a subject of much concern.
These patents are completely commercially viable. It's intolerable that we should lose this company now.
Patience. I'm sure we can emerge from this nosedive yet.
The issue at hand is one of intelligence gathering, or the lack of it in this case. Our only hope of coming out on top of this game is by having a peek at the other side's playbook. I was reading an article in a telecom trade magazine about international drug smugglers and terrorists and their use of computers and cell phones. There's a story in there about a private detective firm whose investigators were giving evidence over an international gun smuggling ring here in Southern California.
This is the article in question. The detective firm is identified as E&C Investigations. The individual investigators remain anonymous.
The only reason why this investigator firm is identified is because of the large international crime they happen to have cracked and that they're giving open testimony.
Look at him. Just get to the point.
Yeah. So what are you guys proposing?
What I'm proposing is that we utilize this organization to somehow have a look inside Holman in order to determine what strategies they're using.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound functional to me.
All right, now what would you say this investigation's going to cost us?
We have yet to approach them, but I would imagine it depends on how many man-hours they put on the job.
Do you believe that you'll be able to convey our unique situation to this detective organization?
Yes, I believe we'll be able to do that.
All right, so we're actually not going to return to Bond for several days. So if you guys want, get with your people, then get back to us.
Yeah, I've testified in court a number of times, but nothing ever like this before. When are you leaving?
Later this afternoon. Yes, it was rather harrowing, our last case. When I was on the force, I remember drawing my pistol a number of times and arriving at the scene of an officer-involved shooting after the event, of course, and it was... Ah, good morning.
Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, everyone. The smell of coffee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, the smell of coffee. Never gonna have a parking problem if our group expands anymore.
I've already talked to the Marina Property Office about that particular issue.
Oh, good. So what did they say?
They said that we're going to need to use the parking spaces by the community dock and then walk in along the pathway. There is a small pathway to the south of us.
So, your second day of testimony?
Yes. And I'm rather pleased not to be implicated in the death of those two clowns. Money was good, though.
Good enough to pay for the therapy you're going to need. Oh, remember that the guys from Bronson and Tabor are coming to install the safe today.
Oh, right. They're putting it in the workroom, right?
Right, quick drying cement. They said it shouldn't take more than a few hours. Time to open the shop.
Alright. Yeah, boss. Once we get this hole big enough, we're gonna sink this bad boy down here, pour cement around it so it's nice and smooth.
Excellent.
Just once we're done, leave it open for about 3-4 hours so we can get all the moisture out of it.
All ready to go?
Yes.
The grand jury has the two of you testifying on different days.
Yeah, I believe they specifically wanted it that way.
Here are all your court papers.
Oh, thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a couple of years for this to come to trial.
Yeah.
Well, At least we don't have any creepy terrorists following us around trying to exact revenge.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
See ya.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Well, you said you always wanted one.
It is rather elegant.
Customer?
Client.
Well, I wonder where everybody was.
So, what do you think?
Beautiful.
That was spectacular.
Not bad for 2 days' work, huh?
You've well proven your worth to this firm, my friend. In spades.
I'll just fill out the report first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming here, Mr. Chadwick.
It's Brandon, and I assure you it's no problem.
Have a seat.
Thanks.
We here at Zattergeist are a German-American telecommunications firm, a subcontractor for several notable cell phone manufacturers. I am the American Division's vice president. Economy of late has been bad enough, and our particular venture has become saturated with too much competition.
So I've noticed.
Then there's the Holman Group of companies, a cellular manufacturer who for the past month or so has been trying to obtain our firm through a hostile takeover bid.
I see. So how can we help?
What we need is some sort of spy mission to be conducted on Holman so that we can discover what they know about our company's weaknesses. Is this feasible?
I imagine it should be easy enough. Of course, there are certain legal limitations to consider should you wish at some future date to counter Holman in court.
For the sake of our employees, our only issue of concern is survival as a company.
And as depicted in this final selection of photographs, the subjects were quite comfortable playing the part of a couple in public, suggesting
That their relationship has been ongoing, as you had suggested.
right. You now have the photographic evidence, which will allow you to proceed with the case with ample success.
You saw my pictures. Mia and I have only decomposed the final report on this thing. And I'm clear to go full blast on the Holman case.
Count me in.
I'm hungry. Give me a taste.
There, all neat and tidy.
Thank you.
Hi.
Good morning. How may we help you?
My name is Jamie Vaughn.
I'm Charles East.
I was hoping to meet the manager of the firm.
Well, that would be me. Oh, and my partner, Brandon Chadwick.
How you do?
I've come to apply. That is, you're looking for investigators?
You're an investigator?
Yes.
Well, we do have room for another candidate.
Yes, of course. Right this way.
Hi.
Hiya.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Definitely couldn't accomplish my mission without this. First of all, I have this.
Oh.
My resume.
Ah. Degree in criminology, UC Irvine.
Yes, I was intending on becoming a police detective.
Well, what changed your mind about becoming a police detective, I mean?
A former boyfriend and I had decided to go to the police academy to become detectives. Anyway, when the relationship went south, I just thought about it and decided to go in a different direction, that's all. I was free to rethink everything at that point, so here I am.
Okay. 6 weeks of the Borner Crofton Private Investigating School, Burbank, California.
After the university degree, that's all I needed.
Of course.
I've already gone through the process of obtaining my California firearms permit.
Mm-hmm.
My instructors at the PI school suggested that would be a good idea.
Yes, good.
And here's my state of California private investigator license. And I also have this to demonstrate my ability to track a subject without being detected.
Impressive clarity.
Well, it's interesting. Well, it's a good thing the subjects didn't see the both of us.
Oh no, I was very careful.
She was very careful.
Oh.
Oh, look. More.
Ah.
Well, I have to admit, she has unquestioned skill in this area of the job.
Although, you must admit, it's all rather sleazy and destructive what we do.
Destructive?
Yeah, spying on people, invading in their private lives, breaking up marriages. It's not like we're doing some great work in society as a whole.
My dear girl, what we do is immensely important. All these people that are in bad marriages are just deluding themselves. Our job to help them move on with their lives. It's better for all concerned. The adults, the children.
The children.
Better off. Sure, like some badly needed surgery. Causes painful immediately afterwards. But in the long run, had these kids remained with their parents in one of these bad marriages, it would warp their little brains.
Well, one saving grace in this business is the occasional departure from the norm.
Thank you. Now, as Mia has just pointed out, we do occasionally get that odd special assignment. And we have one here. A contract to engage in some sleazy spying on a sleazy corporation's attempt to take over our own, no doubt sleazy corporate client. But hey, on a job like this, we stand to make a very healthy profit. And that's all any company is really all about. So I want us all to do the very best we can. Okay? Now, being what we are, I'm sure we all know how to freak. But Mr. Grant here is supposed to be particularly good at dealing with the opposition's computers. Hmm?
I'm sorry, but all of you know I'm still pretty new at this business. Freak?
Freak. P-H-R-E-A-K. Hacking in someone's communication system.
Now, Mia and Evan have hatched out a plan that should allow us to effectively drop him behind enemy lines. And he'll have to hit the ground running when he does.
Connections magazine. Oh yeah, Carrie Evans.
That's it.
Come this way.
Didn't my office say why I was here?
No, just that you were from the magazine.
Okay, good. Yes, we need to keep these interviews secret.
The exits are secure.
You know where I can put these?
You can just stack them over there on the counter.
Oh, thank you.
Great. Now they gotta ship them all back again.
Hey, do you know where I can put these?
In the break rooms. I've seen them in there.
Right down that hall, and there's another one below us on the 8th floor.
Great, thanks.
Get everyone get out of here! Hey! Come on, get out!
I have to get my prize.
All you need to do is get out of here now.
It's all clear back here.
No elevators, people. Stairs only.
Mr. Easner, Sergeant Mark Kepler.
Hi.
The event seems to be central over your offices on the 8th and 9th floor.
Oh, how much damage? How much damage is there?
You know, it's odd. We haven't found any fire damage yet, and we're unable to detect whether there's any chemical combinations that we normally look at in the smoke to find out if this particular type of structure would be causing that kind of a smoke. And so, at least with the field equipment we have, we're still just in a little bit of a quandary with that. We're going to check all the vents, the heating and air conditioning system. You said that the vents were primarily where the smoke was coming from.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, we'll let you know what happened, and but I'm afraid I can't let you back in there until we're convinced we know what caused this and that it won't flare up again.
This item, 1 to 3, the fire department says is what caused our situation last week.
What is it?
A harmless smoke bomb, as they put it, Harmless in the fact that it didn't actually burn the building down. But whoever the joker was that planted these harmless things cost us almost 3 hours of work. I want to know which of our charming employees seem to think that this should be considered so funny that they can take their unique sense of humor somewhere else, to jail, in fact. This was quite a safety hazard, the fire captain told me, considering the evacuation.
Our computers have gone down. It started with this computer, and then it quickly spread to all the others.
Good morning, Computech Allied Securities. Yes. I see. I'll switch you over to one of our tech people.
Hello? Yes? Oh, central system failure. Well, can you describe what you're seeing on the screen so we'll know what we're dealing with before we send somebody over? Uh-huh. Oh yeah, it sounds like a malicious attack to me. Through your web network, yeah. Well, we'll send someone right over. Well, about an hour, I'd say. Yeah. Goodbye.
Yes, this'll do.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is completely outside of the law. Completely outside of what a private detective agency, what I should be doing.
Of course, you're right. We don't ordinarily do this sort of thing, but well, this is a special assignment. A spy mission.
Do you want to quit? Now is your chance. Your chance to back out of everything.
Will I go forever missing if I do?
No, of course not. That's what do you think we are?
What do you say we are? I've seen everything. The safe in the floor.
She does have a point, though. I'd say she's a whack job.
We're all going to prison.
Quite possibly.
Then we're all going to hell.
Definitely.
Thank God you're here, and not a moment too soon.
Where shall I begin?
You may begin right here. This computer is the one you might call the master for this floor. Virtually everything goes through this one.
Okay, I can handle it from here.
Yes, well, let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Is that technician still dealing with the computer network?
Yes, she's been moving around the room to each one. Pretty thing.
Yeah, let's hope that her speed and efficiency on the job is equally as impressive.
that's the last one.
Wonderful.
I just need the paperwork signed.
I can handle that. You have certainly saved us.
It was my pleasure.
Now you recognize anything?
Yes. Well,
there are bits and pieces. These names. They're members of the focus group that you asked me to put together, Al.
Really? Yes, well, I recognize the names.
Yes. But together, these 4 names represent the group that we're going to put in force on the Emerald. The Emerald. That's the new phone. Once we put it in the trade shows and test markets.
We're targeting a group of consumers to assess the opinion of the general public regarding a new product we're introducing.
Well, we were able to get quite a bit of information out of there. But I'd like to take this time to re-emphasize what we discussed before. This is not our usual way of operating. In fact, you'll have to forgive me if I go so far as to say we really made a deal with the devil by doing what we're doing.
Pleasantries aside, you have my permission to get directly to the point.
It's this. All of my people are full onto this thing and are operating at a great risk, including the secretary.
And?
Well, ordinarily my partner and I would end taking the lion's share of the firm's income and the rest would just earn salary. But the way we're going to have to run this operation, the way we are running it, with your approval, I want that additional bonus we talked about, a profit share, if you will, for each of them at the end of this case. Hazard pay.
Really? Yeah, to remind you, we've already...
Yes, I see your point.
As it is, I'm going to have to lay on a thick motivational speech about the way we're conducting this case. And when it comes to the what we stand to gain part...
What did you have in mind?
That extra 30% of the base fee we talked about. To be divided among my regular employees.
All right. Of course, I have to discuss this with my superiors and finalize it. I'll get back to you at the end of the week about this issue.
All categorized according to content, as well as I can decipher that is.
Thank you.
Good morning, E&C Private Investigations. Yes. Hold on.
Hello? Yes, okay. I'm putting it on speaker. It's Adam Peel.
Yes, we've been going over the material in Holman's computer files, and we have to tell you straight out. It's our considered opinion that you have a Holman operative operating at a high level within your company.
Yes, we've come to that conclusion as well.
Have you any idea who it could be? Will you be able to contain this?
No, it's so frustrating. Neither is immediately clear to us.
At least it's clear that our invasion at Holman has yielded a wealth of information. We're now going to look into this company, Morel Telecom Incorporated.
Charles, we're in the coming months slated to sell 22% of our stock to Morel Telecom?
Yes. Holman's spy in your office has made note of that fact. We see that here.
It's supposed to be a way to satisfy our desperate need for funds and a way to hedge against the Holman Group.
It's apparent that Morel has some sort of working relationship with the Holman Group.
Well, if we let Holman get their greedy hands to Morel, then it's really going to be a disaster for us.
Now, Mr. Calcaire, this deal with Morel Telecom. Right. There. Well, feel free to count it. I'll wait.
I'll trust it's all there. After all, what's $2,000 these days? It's enough for gas and lunch money for a month. Now, with that little transaction, you have officially earned the right to call me Julian.
Okay. Julian. And Morel Telecom Incorporated digs up millions from that bank you work for to acquire
a whopping 22% of Zeilergeist stock.
To be honest, we already knew that.
Well, the funny thing is, Morel isn't in the greatest of shape financially in its own right.
You know that as a fact?
Absolutely. It's in the financial disclosure statement that our bank prepared on Morel.
Well, then how could they...
The old standby business practice. They secure the loans by having their business partners, their vendors and suppliers, sign for it. And there's more. Another 1,000.
$500. Look, we only have so much in the expense account for this sort of thing, and there are many more people we have to talk to. All right. $700. There. But it had better be worth it.
That's a list of all of Morel's vendors that joined as co-signers on not only the Golden State loan, but also some other bank as well. Oh, and there's one more thing. Rumor has it, Morel's been trying to save itself from bankruptcy by merging with the Holman Group for quite some time now.
You don't say.
I do say. Now tell me, was I worth it?
Well, it's all coming together. Our clients over at Zeilergeist have confirmed they intend on selling 22% of their stock to the Morel Telecom Corporation in order to raise the money to develop these patents and avert a possible hostile takeover by the Holman Group of companies.
Meanwhile, your banker friend tells us that Morel Telecom may merge with the Holman Group.
Ah, just in time to join the fun.
Just how much fun is this expected to be?
That depends entirely on what you brought with you.
First of all, yes. You can count capital clearance treasuries, along with Golden State Republic Bank as the other bank that Morel Telecom Incorporated received a loan from. And as for the vendors and suppliers, Shigeta Enterprises, Sunrise Cellular, Kernbrook Systems, Cadmium Choice, Burris, Digital Solutions, Nimbus Electrical Network, Title Data Operations Incorporated, and Kaizen Schematic Designs. All of them is having a business relationship with Morel Incorporated, but none would offer any details without a court order.
You found what you were looking for, I'll say. Morel gets the backing to buy 22% of our client's stock.
Yes. And the Holman Group of companies sweeps on in and gobbles them both up.
Except it doesn't make sense.
What?
I've been looking at the data we pulled from Holman's computers. I know this is an estimate, but I don't see how Morel is going to get enough money to buy 22% of Zeilergeist stock. At least Holman doesn't seem to think so. Of course, that doesn't preclude there being another source of revenue.
Are you sure you said this was an estimate?
That's like a balloon with a hole in it. What you're asking is, how big is the hole? It's rather immaterial, isn't it?
Well, we're still digging. We'll just have to find it.
No one rings the bell at the top. 22% is what Zeiler and Geist are willing to sell Morel Telecom. So we're going to supply Morel with whatever is required to achieve this, plain and simple. We know that Morel is receiving funds from 2 banks, Golden State Republic and Capital Clearance Treasuries.
That's solid. The support of their 2 vendors, that's also a done deal.
Now, Chris, you and your people have to come through for the other investors. You have to come through.
We're working on it. We know what the problem is, but I've got to tell you, the time we're spending on it is really cutting into the day-to-day running on our side of the building.
I don't care. This is a priority right now.
Okay, but a couple of them, Neil DeWinter and Power and Field, are concerned about what it looks like, investing in a weak venture like Morel, as it appears at this time financially.
What the hell are they worried about? Didn't you explain that this whole thing is bait to reel in Zeiler and Geist?
That's just it. They're concerned about insider trading implications and...
Insider?
It's just that Zeiler and Geist has not yet publicly released their patents. And yet we've been maneuvering around with all these ways on how to obtain them. That's all.
Damn it, Ryan. It's Zeiler and Geist we're trying to buy. Now handle it.
By this time, 18 months from now, we'll be in a position to buy into World Union Cellular, if we can get all of this to work.
Or we can stagnate and leave the game table with our tail between our legs.
Do you see it?
Yes.
After spending 4 years on insurance fraud cases, I have an eye for this sort of thing. It's all there, all right. Pages 1121 and 1122. These are the other investors that are going in with Morel Telecom to buy Zeiler Geist. We're going in. 6 full-on investors, not just co-signers. As you can see, all of the orchestration of the 6 additional investors was conducted by Monica Schellenberg and Brian Tobin. Both are executives at Holman.
It's just as you said yesterday. The Holman Group has set up this entire operation clearly to trick Morel into buying a percentage of our client's stock.
Yeah.
Then these additional 6 investors would buy more, enough to add up to...
51%. Oh, there's one other thing. The alignment of business model. There is a section in all that computer download called the alignment of business model. And Adam Peel explained to me that such a term refers to the formal proposed direction of how a firm is going to operate, especially after a merger. Specifically, the chief executive at Holman, Alan Reisner, had written the alignment, naming all of the new executives following the Holman takeover of Morel and Zeiler Geist. Of course, all of the Holman executives were to be on that list, but not one of the Morel people was on there, and only one from Zeiler Geist, someone named Stephen Hill, from German headquarters, obviously Holman's spy at Zeiler Geist.
I hope you aren't waiting long. This is Mr. East, Charles East of ENC and Private Investigations.
How do you do?
Good afternoon.
Shall we sit down? Now, Mr. East, Charles, has been reporting to us on several occasions during the course of his company's investigation, and it is particularly convenient that the 2 of you would be able to return during the summation report.
So I take it that you've been able to find out something then, right?
Charles's talented team has proven themselves quite resourceful.
Oh, rather kind of you to say, but I am quite proud of our team, and we did put in quite a bit of effort. But I must tell you now that we took the initiative to employ the use of a couple of people at the source of Holman itself.
Oh, really? What would that be?
We used a couple of people that are acting as spies.
Really? I mean...
I know you're alarmed, but let me tell you this. That is precisely what Holman have done right over here within this company.
You know, Charles, now that you mention it, I do recall you saying something about a spy from Holman being in our midst? You do remember that, don't you, Bruce?
Yes, you and I suspected it, and Charles here called and confirmed it.
Called and confirmed we have a spy? A Holman spy. So why have I not heard about this till now?
This is all rather recent news to all of us.
So just who is this spy?
Would it have made much of a difference?
What?
I mean, surely you wouldn't expect to know who it was, would you, Mr. Hill? I mean, you work for the headquarters in Bonn.
I think I'll be the judge of that, Mr. East.
All such information can be readily found in our summation report.
So you do know who Holman is placed here, right?
Look, is anyone going to say it?
Yes, why not? Stephen, the jig is up.
What?
Quite simply, we can see everything.
What are you suggesting?
What I'm suggesting is this. You're Holman's operative, pure and simple.
Have you taken leave of your senses? Am I to understand you believe his report?
This report is heavily fortified with Holman's own computer log. And in this, Holman's alignment of business model, outlined as a projection for a time period following a Holman takeover of Zeiler Geist, it reflects significantly that no one other than you yourself from this company would have been on staff afterwards. Not even you would have survived this purge, Mr. Kohler.
I don't understand. What possessed you to think like this? This is your company. I can't even believe this.
When Holman approached me, I thought that most of us at the executive level could be retained. I would have been promoted, but you would have been allowed to stay. They told me. They promised me.
Hill has duly gone over to Holman. They were obliged to take him. Of course, our current situation has been altered. Not being able to depend on one large investor like Morel Telecom. But we do have the patents, so we will attract investment capital.
And that other problem?
Zeiler Geist and the Holman Group have come to a mutual agreement. We won't pursue them utilizing a spy in our company. Conspiracy with one of our employees who broke his confidentiality agreement. That, along with them engaging in an insider trading scheme that we were able to stop with our intervention, thanks to you. And they, for their part, will not bring anything against us for supposedly having spies operating within their organization.
But surely they'll forever wonder who these spies are. After all, even Hill does know about our method, our one-time method of infiltrating Holman's offices.